No more technical
Hey,
difficulties.
yeah, we're good. Well, go on, sis.
Wagwan.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you for joining in.
Yes, I'm thankful to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for taking out the time of your day. Sorry for being late,
Nah,
but we here,
nah,
we outside.
nah, man. West Indian African time, man. We understand.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
you family then. You family.
I mean? What's going on with you, though? Good to see you.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Amazing run that you're having right now. I know you're excited.
Absolutely.
I know you're
Absolutely.
dumb excited. Talk to me.
I'm mad hype. Like just the way how life has been going for me. Like, this is something I've been working really hard on, my entire life. Since I was 8, I've been doing music. So to just be here, be in this position and see how everything is playing out, like I'm just really grateful.
That's dope. Congratulations on the 100K followers.
Yes, yes, yes. Finally, we did it. We 100,000 deep. I'm super excited, super happy. Like it's really more than I could really ask for.
Listen, if you guys haven't followed yet, Devyn yet, after we do all this, make sure you follow. But you got to go check out that thank you video, because in the video, I like what you did. You
Yep.
kind of show where you came from and just kind
Mhm.
of show how things are going. And I was amazed to see you. I know you said you started doing music at 8, but
Yeah.
you was young, like young on
Yeah.
stages that more times some artists are like, damn, I wish I could be on that stage. And you are
Right.
young in on these stages. How's it? I mean, from then till now, did you ever think that this was what it was gonna be, or?
I mean, I kind of had an idea. I always, when I started doing music and I realized that I had a passion and I fell in love for it, I kind of knew that I was always going to pursue it, and I wanted to be a big artist. I just what was gonna be the way. And I knew soca wasn't as mainstream enough. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna bridge that gap and make soca music mainstream. So whether it be hip hop, R&B, I knew I was always gonna transcend into another genre. It just so happened I fell in love with the hip hop culture and I kept going at it. So it's like I see everything that's happening for me now, even though it's like new and exciting, like I already seen it. I spoke it, into existence. So, I'm just really blessed to just finally see my dreams literally turn into reality.
Which is crazy for me, because I know in some of your interviews you talk about how you hip hop kind of fell in your lap. It was almost
Yeah.
accidental that you kind of.
Yeah.
And then when we go even further back, from before you even started doing music, you never wasn't even thinking about being an artist, though.
I wasn't even, like, as a little girl, I never was like, when I grow old, I'm going to be a singer. Like, that was never even a thing. Like, it really, as you said, just fell into my lap. And, that goes to show you when God gives you a gift and a talent, and when something is
Hell
for
yeah.
you, it's for you. Because
Hell.
nothing could get in the way of it. And you will find yourself going along down that path even without you realizing. And, like I said, over the time, I fell in love with music and I started developing, like, this discipline to study the game, study music, and just really listen for certain things. And, it just became a
But
real
how
passion
do
for
you
me.
get that discipline at 8 years old, though? That was my thing. It's like when you're 8 and you're just kind of doing your thing. How do
Yeah.
you as an 8-year-old really think to yourself, yo, I need to study the game?
When you're enjoying something, like, you just want more of it. So you try to just, me, like, personally, I'm a sponge. So I just soak up everything a lot of the time. So it's like, I used to stand on the side of the stage and watch Marshall Montana perform for an hour and a half, 2 hours straight. Or I used to stand there and watch him perform at his concert. He performs for 4 hours, like that's really hard for somebody to do. And his energy was high and through the roof the whole
Always.
time. And I just would sit there and I would study it because it's like, yo, I love this so much. I love this environment. This is who I want to be. And it just became a part of me. So, you sitting there, when you watch something every day, it ends up starting to be a part of your routine. You start mimicking it. You start doing it. It becomes your pattern. So being around great people, I just learned that discipline because that's all I was around.
And when we talking, some of the greats like you just mentioned, them, you being from Trinidad, me African, when you watch, not no disrespect to hip hop artists, but I don't think anybody can outperform either West Indian artists or African artists. Like it's a
Especially,
different
right,
kind of
especially
energy.
because we come from a background where it's like, it's not necessarily judgmental, but it's more like a show me what you got. Like, you got to
Yes.
impress me. It's not just
Yes.
so a fly by day, you got a hot song, we're going to let you rock. Like, you really have to impress our type of people. So it's like, I took that when it came to rapping because I was like, okay, I gotta really impress these people the same way. And then it's like hip hop fans, they're a little bit easier, I'm not gonna lie, to captivate, but it's like the way that I'm coming, it's like I'm hungry. Like, I don't care if you're a hip hop fan, a soca fan, I'm gonna give you that same energy no matter what.
And again, you've been conditioned doing this from
Yeah.
so young to be in front of, because let's talk about it. You in front of stages of 15,000 people, 20,000 people at what age?
Right. 8 years old, 9 years
At 8
old.
years, like y'all, if y'all watching this, y'all really got to put that in
Yeah.
perspective. Like she was doing what pretty much Drake and them is doing
At
at
8
eight
and
years
9
old,
and
bro.
10.
And it wasn't one time or two times; it
Right.
was a
This was
few times.
years of touring, traveling, selling out shows over time. And then I transitioned into hip hop when I was like 16. So that was right
Now,
there.
now, how was that? Because now, when you transition to hip hop, I gotta imagine that now it's kind of like starting all over again.
It's right.
You ain't got
Exactly.
no
It's
fan
literally like
base.
starting
Nobody's
from the
checking
bottom
for you.
again, and you got to work your way back up to the top. So one of the things that I learned again, and even though I was never cocky, like it really showed me as I got older the importance of being humble. Like being humble and being patient. You never know who you meet. You never know who you could run into. And just your humility is going to take you way farther than, the next person who's gloating. And they could be hot for right now, but 5 years down the line, that's what matters. And so it taught me humility. It taught me that I gotta be a little bit more mature, and I gotta just be more introspective. And then, when I started rapping, I had to pay attention more to like my content. Because before in soca music, soca, it's about partying, having fun, different
Yeah.
things like that. With rapping, I wanted to tell my story. So I was really going through things, and I really had to go through those experiences and really, dig into those emotions so I'll be able to talk about it in my music.
What were the things that you were going through?
Many different things, like depression. I had lost a lot of friends.
Really?
Whether it
What
be
age is this? What age is this?
16, 17. One of my
Wow.
friends came to see me graduate, and he got murdered like while he came here. So it's just like different things like that. Growing up in a rough environment. I grew
Of
up in
course,
East New York, in
Brooklyn. Yeah.
Brooklyn. Getting into certain things and certain problems. It's just that will take a toll on you. And I feel like music was my therapy, and it saved me from a lot of things. So I just always made sure that I paid attention to my content, because I knew that I was going through these things, but it was for a reason. Like I had some story to tell.
Okay, that's dope. Because at 16, you're not really. I don't think you're too young of a mind state to really like comprehend certain things happening,
Comprehend. You
and you could
losing
just go
friends, your friends
left.
going to jail, people
Yeah,
you was
bro.
going to school with, the next week you hearing they getting murdered. It's like things like that really messes people up. It gives you, like, when people be like they got PTSD, that's a real thing. And I feel like in our communities we don't take those types of things serious, but
At all.
I feel like it is very important.
And that's also a testament to your foundation, which is
Right.
like your family, the people, your support group. That kind of shows that you had some good people around you who,
Exactly.
instead of you jumping out the window and wilding out and just
Mm-hmm.
being super destructive with your expression,
Right.
you kind of honed it into your music.
Exactly.
Your mom, I know your mom is a big time supporter.
Yeah.
I seen the video of her shedding tears at Sway in the morning, like,
Uh-huh.
and I
She
felt
always
that.
crying.
Like
From
I
8
was looking at it,
till
I was like,
now,
damn, I
she
can feel
always
you.
cried. I'm like, Mommy, when you gonna stop crying? She hear my song on the radio, she crying. It's like, Mommy, how many times you gonna cry? But I get it though. Seeing just me walking around the house, regular as little baby, you would never think your daughter would. And me, I was quiet as a kid, like I got into my little problems here and there, but I was quiet, so to see me quiet and then me rapping and doing all of this, I know it's something, new for everybody, no matter how many times you hear it, because I'm always finding something new to say. I'm always just thinking of new ways to be innovative. So I know it'd be a surprise. So I know
And
she's happy.
we'll come back to that in a minute. But I mean, even your family, I know you talked about your brother. I think everybody in your family was kind of like into singing or into music.
Yeah.
They just never took it that serious.
Yeah, everybody. My brother, he's now starting back to take it serious, but my mom's sing, my dad could sing. My grandmother, all of her sisters, it's like 6, 7 sisters, they all sing. Like when you hear them at church or like together in my house, they sing. It sounds like a harmony, like they be harmonizing with each other. And I grew up around that my whole life. Like it was so easy for me to go into a studio and know how to harmonize because my aunts would do it. And so I started doing it and like singing in church, the same thing. So it was all of these little things that happened in my life that even though I never even thought I would do music, God was setting me up, for my life. So yeah, everybody wants to do music. I was just the one who ended up taking it serious. So
now, was there a push from your family to be like, yo, you should maybe not be like us, and really, who's the person who, or what was the situation that really said, okay, I need to really like go 100 for this music thing because I could really do this?
It wasn't really like a situation where somebody told me like you really need to do it. It was like after I performed at my first like booked show, literally I got my manager after my first show. Like it wasn't long. Like I got my manager at my first show. She seen me perform, called my mother. By the next week, she was my manager. Like came to my house, met me, and took me out every single day after that, and literally became my manager. And then she's been with me since. So from 8 till now, that's literally like family to me, you know? And then it was never really like a conscious decision. Like literally nobody was like, okay, like you're doing music. It was really just, I kept getting booked for shows and people just started introducing me like, this is my artist, or this is an artist, or this is a singer. And I'm like, I guess I'm an artist. Even with like my stage name, Young Devyn, like I didn't have no stage name. Like I came out, they was like, what's your name? I'm like, my name is Devyn. And then some people will call me Lil Devyn. Some people call me Young Devyn. And
Okay.
then when I was making my Instagram account, I'm like, okay, what's going to be my name? And I'm like, Young Devyn. And then people started calling me Young Devyn. And that's how my stage name came. So everything was really organic. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about my whole
Absolutely.
story.
Absolutely. And then again, remember, you was 8, 7, however old you was, side stage at these massive shows in Trinidad.
Right.
And now I'm sure that was the goal then. It's like, oh snap, I'm getting all these shows. I can start getting that kind of energy and that kind of love from people on stage. And I mean, it's really amazing to watch. Like your story is really, it's destined. Like I don't know how else to say it. It sounds like it's dumb destined just because the way you started, the way you come up, you're doing a lot of Trinidad. You got the family in the crib singing, and then hip hop comes. Talk to us about that, because you wasn't grown up. You, even though you're from Brooklyn, you didn't grow up on hip hop though in the house.
Yeah, I grew up.
You have to go study that whole hip hop genre.
The only time I would really listen to hip hop, of course, casually driving and listening to the radio,
exactly.
I know what hip hop is. That's
yeah.
living in New York. But like in my household, it was really more soca and gospel. And then as I got older, me being outside, of course, you're gonna start doing your own thing. And then I listened to Nicki Minaj's album, and then I caught a punchline for the first time, and I'm like, wait, like what is this? And then I went and I listened to her whole, like all of her projects, and I thought, because I didn't know what a punchline or a metaphor was, so I never knew how to identify it. So I thought she was the only artist like who did it. So I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? Like, I want to know how to think like that too.
Yeah, okay.
And then I started listening to more artists like Jay-Z, Meek, DMX, and I started hearing the same things. And I'm just like, okay, I want to be able to do something like this. And so I started writing, pushing my pen. And like I said, just being a sponge. I used to watch documentaries. Then I started watching Meek Mill vlogging in the studio to like just see how he records, how he figures it out. And then I took what I learned from soca, because I wrote all my songs in soca music too. So I took what I learned and I kind of put it in a boiling pot. And that's kind of how the hip hop side came about.
That's lit. That's lit. And now look at you. Now you got, I mean, after that, I mean, you just skyrocketed. I'm talking from freestyles with everybody, bars on I-95,
right.
Flex, and I think it was the bars on I-95 that kind of went viral for you on the hip hop side, right?
That was the first time, because even in that, I wasn't calling myself a rapper either. I was putting out little freestyles, but I wasn't saying I was a rapper because I was still doing soca, and I didn't really, even though my soca fans knew I was rapping, I didn't know how serious they were going to take it, and I wasn't taking it serious. And then so when I went on the show, AB called it. He was like, this is going to go viral. And I'm like, okay, like, I've never went like super viral at that point. But I didn't really know. And then like literally the first day it hit like 1 million views, and then by the end of the week it was at 3 million views. And I'm like, I'm a rapper, like
we lit.
I'm a rapper. I'm going to do this. Like, this is something that is clearly reaching the masses and people are receiving it well. Like, I'm going to do this. But I still wasn't even taking it serious. But I just was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to do it. I gained more confidence. And then, over the time when I got more opportunities like the Sway, that's when it really solidified me. Like, no, like, you're doing the same things that you was watching your favorite rappers do on YouTube. Like, you need to take this blessing serious and, like, go full throttle.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And don't squander it, because so many people, would die to be in the position that you in, or even have the talent that you have. Because let's be real, a lot of these rappers probably don't even write their own bars. You like the whole package. Because again, if we even rewind, you were doing studio sessions and you were like, I can't afford these studio sessions. I got to teach myself how to record myself.
Right. I had to teach myself how to record.
And all this is kind of like again, when we go back to you being in Trinidad, performing on stages, it's all conditioned. To me, it's destiny. It's just 1, 2, 3. We're lining you up. We're getting you conditioned to get you to where you need to be. You know what I mean? And even talk about the Funk Master, not even the Funk Master Flex, but the Sway in the Morning, even the way that came about. Because how did you connect with Sway to even get on there, to even start doing that on his show?
Yeah, I got with Sway. First of all, I just want to say hats off to Sway, because Sway was like the first person in the industry, I think outside of like Waka Flocka, he had reached out a couple months before, and like Montana 300. They were like the first two ever rappers, but Sway was like the first person in the industry to really just use his platform, because you know he has a huge platform.
Huge.
He talks to the biggest artists in the game. He don't gotta waste his time trying to appease no 16-year-old girl at the time. Like, it was never that serious, you know. But I met him I did TRL on MTV, and he was the host. And I was like, Sway, like, you don't know me, but I kind of come on your show. And then when he heard me rap from the TRL episode, he was like, nah, you're definitely gonna come on. But you know, I'm thinking, this is the industry talk. You know, everybody says that. I'm not gonna take it serious. But then later that day, he followed me on Instagram, and we just started talking. And I'm like, no, I really want to come on your show, for real. And he was like, no, like, I'm dead serious. I'm going to set you up with my assistant, and you're going to come on the show. So he kept his word. 2 days later, I got an email. Let's say I got the email the Monday. We were there by the Friday. And then we did the Freestyle Friday. And that literally, I think that was a real defining moment in my ascension when I first started rapping, because, of course, me going viral, that was great. But number one, this one was more of a moment. Like, this is Sway. And then on top of that, this opened a lot of doors for me. Like, because of that video, Taraji P. Henson seen me. She posted me. And that's the time that I went drastically viral. I got like 30,000 followers overnight. Like, it just started going up after that. So that one was like a real big moment for me.
So that was, to you, that was kind of like one of your biggest moments.
Yeah, definitely Sway. Definitely like the BET
Have you had a bigger
awards.
moment since?
Huh?
Have you had a bigger moment since?
I think not bigger, but I just feel like something as sentimental was the BET Hip Hop Awards. Like, I was literally watching the award show a year before, and I'm like, I'm gonna be there. Like, mind you, at the time, still had no connects, wasn't signed.
So
like,
how did that happen? How did the BET joint come together?
They really just emailed me one day. Like, when I tell you everything just be so natural, I really just I woke up one day and I was talking to my friend on FaceTime, and we were literally the whole day we was talking about wanting to go to LA, right? Ironically, and I'm just like, I think it was just really nice outside. And my mom, she has big windows in her room. So I was just laying down in her bed, and I just felt so like, you know, and I'm like, damn, I want to be in Cali. Like, you can actually tell you. And we was just talking about it all day. Then my mom gets home from work that evening, and she runs upstairs and is like, yo, BT just emailed us saying that, you know, they want you to be in the cypher. I'm like, what? They're like, and it's in LA, and we got to go there on Thursday. I'm like, what?
Yo.
So that's another thing, like a destiny thing. I was just like, oh wow. And that was real organic. And that one right there was like one of my favorite moments, because just the whole experience of being on the red carpet, because I was like a little nervous. I'm like, you know, little old me around all these big stars. At the time, I didn't even have a song out. Like, you know, I had Straight to It, and I didn't even have no song like that out. So I'm just like, you know, I'm really coming here, you know, freestyling at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know if they're going to know me. What if I'm on the red carpet? Nobody wants to even take a picture of me. Like, who's this girl? And then I got on the red carpet, and everybody was flooding me with pictures, interviews. I was talking to a bunch of rappers. They're like, yo, you're dope. I see you all the time. And it just showed me, like, you never know who's watching you. And it just really made me realize, like, I'm really supposed to be here. Like, I felt so at home. So
now, so you get the invite for BET, do you start writing your bars right then and there?
No, because I didn't even know the beat. They sent us the beat like 2 days before, and then like after they sent the beat the first day, I think this was around Labor Day. So, you know, in the Caribbean world, the Labor Day parade, that's big. And I still was active in soca, so I'm busy during Labor Day. Like, Labor Day, I'm always busy. So I was doing shows, so I didn't even have time to really write a rap. So I probably wrote a rap like the night before the flight and then on the flight. And so I memorized the rap. I get there. It's my turn to go. And I completely blank out the whole thing that I wrote. So the rap that you guys are hearing on YouTube or whatever is not the rap that I wrote.
Where'd that come from? Was that off the top?
Because I'm like, I'm not going to get here and now embarrass myself. Like, this is the moment that you've waited for. You better say anything. But luckily, I was remembering like little phrases of what I wrote, so I just was punching in. Like, you know, I'm good with punching in words to make it sound cool. So that's what I did. And then after the filming, you know, I was nervous because I'm like, I can't really remember what I said. So hopefully I said something fly. Hopefully at least I got one punchline in there, you know? And then when I watched it, when they finally aired it, I was like,
fire.
You did your thing. You did your thing, girl.
Big John. You remember some of the bars? Give us some of the bars real quick for
The
anybody who hasn't
original
watched
bars,
it
I
yet.
don't even know the original bars because I kind of fell in love with the freestyle. Like I know the
No, no, no,
homie
not the
was good.
original. The freestyle. The freestyle. Give us a little something off the
Oh
freestyle.
yeah, I like when I say like damn, it's a couple of parts. I
Come
think I
on
just know
now.
how I introduce myself. Like call me the golden, the greatest. I'm seeing more green and Jamaicans. I'm Trini, but no couple Haitians. Still repping Brooklyn. I'm nothing to play with. Like I'm introducing myself to the world. Like I'm young Devyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Trinidad. I know
Let's go.
Jamaicans. I know Haitians. Like
Let's
yeah,
go.
like you know.
If I say to all the Haitians. Now that part
Yeah.
right there, was that a freestyle or was that written?
No, that was really a freestyle because that has nothing to do with what I was
Okay.
gonna say. Like I had a whole nother way I was gonna introduce myself, but I kind of like that one better because when I said Brooklyn, Trinidad, it kind of gave me that energy. Like, you know what, Devyn? You don't know what you about to say. Just talk about where you from, you know, and
That's
hopefully it
fire.
goes good from there.
That's fire. That's fire. Damn, that's dope. And you quick on the toes, which is really
Yeah,
good, especially
yeah,
for artists in this industry. So now let's talk about
right.
the industry though. So you decide to jump head first. After this, now you're like, all right, I'm a hip hop artist. Let's go. I'm gonna start putting out freestyles. You start putting out dope joints out. How does it feel? And again, you're young. I call it a double minority. You're
Right.
female, well, a triple
And
minority. You're
mm-hmm,
female, you're black, and you're young.
mm-hmm.
How did you get any resistance at all coming in here? Do you feel like everything's been kind of working out in your favor so far?
I don't think I got as much resistance as I thought because I didn't pay attention. Like
Mm,
I think a lot of the times resistance comes from, and hopefully I don't get no flack for this, but a lot of the times resistance may sometimes come from you putting a label on yourself. Like I never call myself a female rapper. Like I
let's
don't
go.
even look at myself like that. Like when I say I'm a rapper, I'm a rapper. You know, so it's like if you come in and you like I'm a rapper and I'm gonna rap and I'm gonna sound just as good as these dudes and I'm probably gonna sound a little better than a couple of these dudes, you're gonna take me serious. It's all about how you walk into the room. Of course, when it comes to like bigger brands, of course the color of your skin, you can't even help that, you know.
Yeah,
It's just certain
yeah.
situations you can't even help. That's why you always got to just give 300%, 500%. So you got to give more than what's expected to even get the same. That's how I always feel. So I never even paid attention to those brackets, and I think that's how I was able to break through all of that. Like anything that would stifle me, I used it. I flipped it for good. Like if people would say like, "Oh, she's too young. She's 16 and rapping," I went on Sway. I'm like, I'm 16, body in these 16s. Like it's nothing you could say about me that I'm gonna, you know, take offense to because I'm always
Let's
own it and
go.
flip it back. Like even if people be like, "Oh, you come from Soca," now all of a sudden you talking this Brooklyn stuff. Like, yep, I come from Trinidad. I've been in the trenches. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that I'm ashamed of. So I think once you use it and you embrace it, it's nothing that can really break you.
And that's the energy you need in this industry. You need that
Yeah,
tough skin. You need that attitude because if you're weak, if your skin ain't tough and you're weak minded, this industry will break you into pieces. It will chew you up
exactly,
and just spit you out.
exactly.
So if you
Mm-hmm.
just come in here, and I love that. If you just come in here and be like, so what, I'm 16, so what, I'm this age, so what, I'm this age. And I like that you said that you're a rapper. It ain't about a gender. It ain't
Right.
because I'm a female and I might have dope hair or whatever. You said a good point. You said I might rap better than some of these rappers. I think you rap a lot better than
Well,
a
you know,
lot of these
I
rappers.
still I keep it
Let's
humble.
brag a
I keep
little.
it
Let's
humble.
brag a little. Let's
I
brag
keep
a
it
little.
humble because you know I just always feel like it's a couple thousands of rappers that we know, but there's millions around the world that's
Yes.
probably it's dudes in jail right now that's nicer than some of the people that's #1 on Billboard.
Yes.
You know, they just waiting for their turn. Like you never know, so you always got to stay on your toes. I don't think I'll ever feel too comfortable. Like I might talk my talk in my raps, but of course that's to get me hype, get my fans hype. But you know, I still always know I got to stay on my toes.
And stay humble, which is the way. This is the
Absolutely,
way you're gonna get more blessings. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Now talking about even your raps, I noticed you don't really curse in none of your joints.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah. So
intentional?
when I was younger, my grandmother, my mom sometimes like if she would work, my grandmother used to live in Harlem. So we used to go to Harlem with my grandmother and she used to like buy us these books. So I used to love like English, ELA, and I used to read a lot. So I used to finish the books fast. And then my aunt, she gave me, she's a pastor. So she used to buy me like children's Bibles. I still have them. So it was like the Bible, but in a children's format with cartoons and different things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
finished all, I think it was like a 5 sequel book. I finished all of the books. So they was like, we don't have anything else to give you. And so my grandmother was like, I'm going to give you a dictionary. So what I used to do is I used to read the dictionary a lot. And then even words I wouldn't know, I still would try to just make sure I memorize and pronounce it. So like at 4, I would be running up to people like, I know how to spell corporation, C-O-R-P. You know, you could ask like my mother, anybody will tell you. That was like my favorite word. Like I used to just always be very, you know, in tune and wanting to know how to spell things and how things sounded and different things like that. So when I started writing music when I was 8, of course I wasn't cursing at the time, so I never wrote with cursing. And as I got older, and I started, you know, developing myself more, and I realized, okay, explicit language is kind of what attracts certain people. What could I say that's going to hit the same, you know? And that's where my, like, the expansion of my vocabulary came from, because I know how to fill in words. I know how to say things that is going to hit the same, that's going to cut you the same way, that's going to have you like, whoa, you know? It's just ways how you go about it. And so that was one. And then number 2, like, I want to be a global artist. I don't want my music to have any brackets on it.
Talk about
I
it.
want my music to hit, you know, I wanted to play on Kids Bop and in the streets. Like, I wanted to be able to play in a church, in a club. Like, my music, I feel like, is worldwide, and I just wanted to reach all ages. I think my story is something that I think the world should want to know about, and I don't want any cap on it either.
It's so amazing that you're so young, yet you have such a old soul about you and a different way of thinking. Because a lot of people ain't thinking about that. A lot of people ain't thinking because, you know, and when we talk about cursing, if you put all your videos up on YouTube and they no curses in there, they're gonna push your joints even more. If you got the F word and all this other,
it's easy to get on the radio because
they
like, send me the clean version. I'm like, you have the clean version.
You already got it. Like, it's in the email.
Just let go. Just you know
what I mean? But that's a really dope way of thinking, because again, it like you said, you're trying to be a global artist, and it just makes you even that more accommodating. There's less work that you got to do. Here's the email, play the joint. On YouTube, you ain't got to go look for the clean version. Your kids can pop it up in your car. Yeah, it's got that gritty sound to it, but you ain't going to hear a curse word ever.
Right. It's a dope balance. And I think that just comes from how I grew up. Because, you know, me being in industry at a young age, I'm around adults all day.
Of course.
You know, shows, touring, security. So I'm around adults, but then I was going home and I was going to school. So I had that balance of I'm like, okay, I'm looking on stage, I'm watching Masha perform. Now I see what adults are attracted to and what they like, what gets them hyper. I'm a kid, so I know what kids react to. Let me find a way how to mix it together, and it's going to be something that could attract both sides, you know?
Devyn, you're going to be a problem in this industry, girl.
Thank you.
Don't let it go to your head, but you're going to be a problem in this.
We're going to remember this interview, and I'm like,
we're going to remember, because next time we talk, you're going to be in the building. You're going to be in Boston.
Absolutely.
We're going to, you know, things are going to be.
I bring gifts, so we're going to have a good time.
All right, so now listen. So since you say you nice with the dictionary and all of that, I got a word for you to spell. You ready?
Well, okay. Oh, geez.
Come on now.
Right,
we can tell by the way you articulate and the way you speak, it's worked out for you. I think you got this. I'm going to give you an easy one.
I mean, I ain't read a dictionary in years, but come on. Let me go.
I'm going to give you an easy one.
Okay.
Hippopotamus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hippo.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep.
Hippo. P?
Yep.
Come on, give me some help.
O again. O again.
O? Yeah.
I ain't giving you the rest.
A.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
M.
Uh-huh. 2 more. Let's go.
That's not hard to spell off the top of your head. Like, you gotta watch that word. You gotta see it. You gotta tell me hippopotamus. Spell triangular. No, let me stop.
Trinidad. Shout out to all the Trini family in the building, man.
Yes. Shout out to Trinidad in the building.
In the building, heavy. Young Devyn is in the building. Make sure you share the live. So let's just get straight to it. The reason why you're here and the reason why you're making so much noise right now is because you do got that single, Straight to It.
Yeah.
Very drill sounding. A lot of your music that you've been putting out lately, a lot of drill in it. Of course, you're from Brooklyn, so this is, you know, it's. Do you feel like you're bringing that New York sound back?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and not even bringing it back, but just kind of trying to carry on. I think what Pop was starting, like, you know, if you really do your research on New York City and New York drill, it's been going on for years, since like 2015. My peers were doing it. Like, I was friends with with people who kind of started it in New York City. And then I kind of was like the first female in New York in like 2018 to do a drill song. And, you know, it kind of, the wave kind of died down, but it was always around. Pop just came in out of nowhere and just took it mainstream, you know, and kind of gave it that reboost. A lot of the drill rappers, the original drill rappers, when they first started, their sounds kind of started changing. They started doing more melodic type of songs. Pop just came back on the drill thing and took it mainstream. And so it's like, you know, everybody is doing the drill thing, and I feel like he kind of put a stamp on what the current New York City sound is, and I think it's just all a part of being from Brooklyn and trying to just carry that legacy and carry that New York sound. You know, like how Atlanta had a sound, Miami, Cali. We just kind of want to bring that New York City sound back, and this is kind of what it is. This is new. It's current.
And bring female MCs from New York back in front too.
Exactly. You know, like I want to be able to just, and that's kind of what I feel like my role in it is, just bringing that lyricism back into fun music. I feel like, you know, it's a lot of fun music going on, but people not really saying nothing. So I'm kind of just stepping in and making people think again, making people react again, not just bop their heads all day, but you can have fun, go crazy, and still be like, oh, nah, like this is fire. She's talking something.
And let's not get it twisted. You're not just doing drill. I mean, again, from your roots as a Trinidadian, you got Secrets. That's another joint I play on the radio all the time. Yeah. I love the vibe of that. It's a completely different side of you. Is this what we're gonna expect? Or is it an album or EP?
It's an EP, but you're gonna get everything. Like everything that's Devyn, all of the research that everybody has done over the years about me and what they think I've sounded like or what I've done, you're going to get everything on the EP, like from singing to Caribbean songs to rapping, the drill, the introspective songs, the melodic songs, like, you know, but it's concise. It's not messy. It's not all over the place. Like, it makes sense and it tells my story perfectly. And I think it's so great because this is the first time I've ever dropped the project. So this is the first time, my fans get to see like who I really am for me and what I've really gone through, because I'm not really an internet person. I don't put my personal business on the internet. So it's not like, you know, there's a long-lasting history of Devyn drama, you know, or anything of the sort. So this is them really getting to step into my life, and I'm really excited because I worked really hard.
And what's excited for you, we're definitely supporting the record. I played every night. I got your dub. We need a proper dub, though, you know.
Yeah,
the label did their little dub thing,
right? But we need that, you know, spicy Caribbean dub. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, we need the real dub play. They just give me a little thing. I'm like, all right, this is cool. We'll run with it. But once I talk to her,
right. But like, when I talk to her, I'm gonna tell her I need that pretty dub. that when you was recording in your closet type of dub.
You know what I mean? I need that great. But let's talk about the title of the EP. Very brazen. Very. You step again. This is 16-year-old you saying, so what? I'm 16.
Right.
This is you stepping into this thing saying, I'm the baby goat. A lot of people might be like, how you the goat and you're so young, you haven't really done nothing. Why did we go with this name?
Yeah, so like I ran with baby goat because number one, so one day I'm not really big on zodiac signs or anything of the sort. And then one day I'm like, you know what? Let me just see what my zodiac thing is. Like people always talk about it. Like I didn't even know what I was. So I realized I was a Capricorn. And then I'm like, I seen that the zodiac animal for Capricorn is a goat. So I'm like, okay, that's ironic. And at the time, I think everybody was saying the goat thing. And I'm like, okay, I personally, once again, with the humbleness, I'm like, I don't think I'm nowhere near where I want to be, especially at that time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a baby goat, though. Like, I'm on my way to get there. You know, everybody got to start as a baby before they get to wherever they're going. And I just think it's a young, fly name. So I started calling myself baby goat. And my fans, I don't know. It's like they fell in line one time. Like, I never told anybody call me baby goat or any of the sort. Like, my fans literally just started calling me baby goat. Even when I don't post anything that is related to that, they'd be like baby goat. So it ended up becoming clearly like a fan base name, my alter ego, and it's just a part of me now. So, you know, we putting baby goat on the EP. Today we putting baby goat on a chain. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you getting a baby goat chain today?
Go on my story. You're gonna see it. It's coming on fire. It's coming on fire.
Okay. When you pick it up? You pick it up today?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. Baby Goat is the EP. How many songs on the EP?
Well, I mean, this might be a good problem to have. There was supposed to be 7, but there's now an extension of more songs because, you know, I'm always in the studio. So
the more the better.
Right, the more the better. So I could just say it's turned from an EP to whatever. But yeah, no, it's an EP. It's gonna have a bunch of songs. I don't know if I can say how many now, but originally it was supposed to be 7. So just know it's more than that now.
And when's it dropping?
I'm gonna give you the exclusive date, but I could say
come on, let's go.
Publicly in a couple of weeks. It's like I want to say a date, but I have more music coming before we even drop.
Give me a date.
I could say I'm dropping more music this month coming here, April. It's more music. I know people think that's straight. I know for a fact people think I'm dragging out straight to it. I know they probably like, she don't got enough one. There's 10 more. There's 10 more.
What?
You know,
10 more
like
joints?
there's a bunch more. Like it's so much more hits, so much records. So I'm dropping more music. April, I can announce that it's more music coming this month, and we about to shake the city. Like this next song is going to be the best song. Like that's all I can say.
So the next song is better than Straight to It, is what you're saying. Okay, say no more.
Straight to It was an accident. You know what I'm saying? Straight to It was an accident, and I ended up just falling in love with it, and I kept it going. This song is like, okay, y'all think I'm all right. I'm listening to Straight to It, and I'm just, because I always like to listen to my songs to think, what could I do better? How could I say this better? How could I, I pay attention to the atmosphere of the industry, how people react to certain words and how I say it. And I observed it, and I took my time. We were in the studio, and I didn't even go into the studio expecting to come out with that record, but I went in the studio, created that record, and we have the song of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
I can tell the way you hesitating that this is going to be one of those.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the yeah.
Do we got somebody on it? Is there somebody on it? It's just you?
On the remix, yeah. On the remix, yeah.
Can you tell us who it is?
Nah, I can't.
Damn, bro. Like, what's that? Why you turn industry on us all of a sudden, man?
What? First of all, I ain't the industry. I'm new, so I don't know what to say and what not to say. I don't think I know book. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, no, we're definitely putting a feature on the remix, but the actual record itself is just me, and I think it's gonna be great because it's just what it's expected, a great record, but it's just unexpected about how I go about it. Like,
since you ain't gonna say much on the live, and I understand how things go, can I at least be the first one in Boston to drop this joint? Like, can we get this straight? I know it's clean already.
Of course, that's what I was gonna say. I could give you the exclusives. I'm gonna pull up your name. I'm gonna send you the record. You're gonna go crazy. Of course, you're gonna be the first one to play it in Boston. Like, it's gonna go dumb. Like,
let's link up behind the scenes, because like I said, we're going dummy already with Straight to It. I love Secrets. I play that on my Sunday show, my Caribbean. Like, it's a different vibe. I can't wait for however many songs are gonna be on this EP. Everybody drop a GOAT in the comments, by the way, because Baby GOAT is on the way. Baby GOAT is on the way. I love your energy. I love your confidence. I love that you're not overly cocky, that you're humble. You know you're a problem, but sometimes you don't really have to tell. You don't got to tell people you're a problem. They just got to see it. Because if you come out your neck talking sideways to Devyn, she going, boop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody did ask in the comment.
I try to keep it cute. I try to stay out of the problems.
Someone did ask in the comment, what's the feature price like now?
Jeez. Listen. There's an email button in my page, guys. Just be happy.
Just hit them.
You will be taken and directed right to where you have to be.
And that's it, man. Young Devyn is in the building. Thank you
for having me. I enjoyed talking to you. This was one of my favorite interviews. Like, this was actually really fun. Like, I felt like we had a genuine conversation.
Yeah. And when we do this in person, you know what I mean? I can't wait to have a convo with you.
Yes, of course.
You know what I mean? I like intellectual people. I like seeing where people come from. That's kind of what I do with this whole platform. It's not just about, let's talk about the music. Let's talk about where you came from, what influenced the things that you went through. And I can tell, shout out to your family, shout out to your manager, shout out to your team. Of course, shout out to the label. Can we talk about that too? How did the label get to sign you real quick?
Yeah, so Latrice, she had known my manager for a while, and it was just all about the right timing. So when she finally, got her situations right, and we got our situation right, she was like, you know what, I'm having this label, let's bring Devyn aboard. And so she brought me on team, and it's just been up ever since. Like, Latrice, I feel like she looks at me like a little her, just a young girl from Brooklyn with a dream and a talent to make it in this industry. And I think she gets it, because she's a woman, she's Black, she understands, and I think that's such a beautiful link up, such a powerful link up to just see two young Black successful women flourishing in the music business. And so I'm really excited to be a part of the team. They go super hard for me, and that's all I ever wanted. Like, I was at a point where I felt like I exhausted all my resources. Like, I feel like I did a lot of groundwork myself. I just needed a team that was just as excited about me as I was about myself. And with prayers and hard work, I finally was being able to be put in that position where I was noticed, and my talent was taken serious, and they've been doing an excellent job. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more.
I'm not gonna hold you. They were steady in my, shout out to Scott. He was steady in my phone. Like, yo, bro, you got to listen to Young Devyn. As I start listening to you, I'm like noticing. Even shout out to my Shadyville DJs who are in the building. We had when Clubhouse started doing its thing, we started doing a Shadyville DJ playlist for Clubhouse, where we would go in there, and there was a bunch of unsigned, unknown artists. and somebody kept pushing your joint. It was the hot joint. What's the name of that joint?
Make It Hot.
Oh my, Make It Hot. Someone kept pushing that joint to us, and maybe a couple of months ago it was #1 on our playlist. Because my man, when I dropped the fly for the interview, he was like, "Yo, you know we had it on our playlist." I'm like, "Say word," and I looked at it, I'm like, "Oh snap!" So we've been rocking with you.
Crazy. You see
we've
how
been
everything
rocking with
comes
you low
full
key
circle.
for a minute.
Yeah,
that was, you know what I mean. So
Make It Hot was before I even linked up with Latrice. That was like months before.
Yes. So I mean, your music is what you're doing is just keep doing it. Keep
Yes,
doing it.
thank
Keep
you. I
remaining
really
humble.
appreciate it.
We definitely are supporting you. If there's anything else you want to tell your fans or your, by the way, I know how this go. Trini people, are you cool? But did anybody of them start saying that you sell out because you go to the other side?
No, they actually love it because they know I'm repping Trinidad, and they know that, you know,
good.
You can look at my interviews. I really say that,
I know.
You know, I was always going to transcend into a mainstream genre because I want to be the artist to bridge the gap between my culture and the mainstream world. Like if you go on like iTunes and stuff and you just search up my soca music, it's not even, they're like, there's no soca genre. It's like world, or it's classified under like modern reggae or modern dancehall. Like it's things like that I kind of want to be the artist to break that barrier and be able to gain. I want to have a soca artist playlist on Spotify, just like how we have Rap Life on Apple Music. I want like a Soca Life, things like that. So if I got to put in all the hard work, and I know I'm not even going to live to see really the fruits of my labor and what it's going to turn into, but I just want to be the artist to say, like, you know, like I really put my culture on the map. And, you know, it's not really for bragging rights. I just feel like it's such an amazing culture. And I feel like it's so positive. Why not? You know, Trinidad is what made me. They started me. That was the first place outside of America that embraced me. And I would never forget where I came from. Like, that's a part of me forever.
There you go. Shout out to Trinidad. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And shout out to you. Like,
yes, thank you so much.
Keep doing your thing. I like having this kind of conversations. I could tell you really about what you're talking about. So just keep pushing. Keep pushing. We're going to support it over here on this side.
Thank
as long
you.
as them dub plater come,
yes,
we're good. You know what I mean? Big chills only. Thank you, young Dev. Unless there's anything else you want to tell the people, anything like that.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you once again. Thank you for having me. I appreciate all of you guys who supported. Make sure you guys stream straight to it. Shazam straight to it. We're going up on the Shazam charts in New York City. So make sure you guys keep going. Straight to it is over 500,000. So now our next stop is a mill, and we're gonna keep running it up. More music dropping this month, and I love you guys.
And follow her if you've not already. She's already at 100,000.
Yes,
we need to get more. Can we get a freestyle before you go?
No, it's not. I can say big things coming. I'm telling y'all little before. I'd probably be a legend before I could hit the Forbes. Was running through them cities before I could hit a tour. I was praying for designer. I call it Christian Dior.
God enough. It's a wrap. Thank you, Deb. Yo, I'm gonna see you in person hopefully next time. And if not, we can always link up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big love. Respect. Bye.